Hello everybody, welcome back to Rectangle and Cube. Cube and Rectangle? What did we call this? It's been 7 months.
I would have to check on my phone.
Since the last episode.
We are hitting a good schedule. This is the epitome of the kind of, so I haven't posted in a while, blog post. That's what we're doing right now.
But what's super interesting about this is, I will apologise for this. This is actually the third episode. We did record a Christmas one, and it got sort of swept. Do you remember we did a second one?
I do remember. I didn't know if we were going to sweep that under the carpet, but I like the radical transparency with the audience, so that's a good thing.
So it has to be radical transparency because someone called me out on a live stream for this. Because I just cleaned out, I'd done all the advent editing for all that videos, me and Ashton and stuff, and all my awards and everything. And I just got all the files. I went, delete, let's get rid of all that. And then I made a reference to something we talked about in the second episode. And people were like, what are you talking about? That episode hasn't come out yet. I was like, yes, what? And I literally, during a live stream, looked online and went, oh, no, that hasn't gone up. And then I looked for the files and they weren't there. And I went, oh, God, nobody tell Mike.
That's all right. To me, in a way, I think of these just as hangouts with a mate. So I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
Love the audience. Honestly, you're great. All of you, each of you, an individual and beautiful snowflake. But I'm basically just here to chat to Dan. So I don't give a shit if the episode comes out. You're fine. Love you, audience.
That's the title for this episode. I don't give a shit if this episode comes out.
Well.
So, Mike, you've watched wrestling for the first time.
Like 3 years ago, yeah. We're not doing the wrestling conversation again. I liked it. I won't do it every week. Well, actually, you know what? I have started, like, if I'm on my TV and I see something is coming up, I will switch over. I do that now.
Nice.
You've demystified wrestling to that level for me, which I appreciate.
That's cool. And you made me do something that I can't remember what it was. I have watched a lot of, H Bomber Guy's videos now?
Oh, he's good.
A lot of very long Deus Ex discussions I now have witnessed.
That Deus Ex video I forwarded to more people than I care to mention. I think it's incredible. I love all of their stuff, but that one in particular, damn. Yeah.
That's a great video. That is a great video and a great time. You know who else makes great videos? Me.
Tell me.
This is an advert for me. This podcast. But this podcast was the #1 rated gaming podcast the week it came out.
Yeah, and then we absolutely flatlined it.
We just never did
the three people still listen to it, still subscribe to it. They didn't just immediately go, oh, I guess that's not going anywhere and delete it from their app 3 months ago. Those people are so excited right now. I love that. When a podcast that you like puts up an episode and it's been a long time, there's a particular feeling for me, at least, as a podcast listener. So I'm sure there's someone out there who's very excited right now that this is back.
Yeah.
And we'll hit 1.5 episodes a year. It's gonna be a good chill, podcast.
1.5 episodes.
I did used to listen to a podcast that the running joke was there was a weekly podcast, but they did only put one up every 4 months. They would constantly reference things from last week's episode. That was quite good. We should steal that joke.
Do you remember that our running joke for this podcast was that it was the first podcast ever?
Yes.
So since we started that,
it's really taken off. Yeah, it's taken off.
Podcasts have really, everyone's been doing one now.
Weirdly right wing. That's my only. If I had to throw one criticism as podcasts as a medium, there's been a swing to the right. That's the only criticism I would apply to podcasting.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, what do you feel about women?
I generally just think they're people.
Mike, this is a gaming podcast.
I'm sorry. I think I don't know. The thing is, it's not even fun anymore to make sarcastic, misogynistic jokes. Because people will just give you the side eye of is that actually something you really think that you were using this supplement? So I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to say, yeah. Fortunately, there were no lasting impacts of Gamergate, so we get to move on now. It's fine.
I was well on the wrong side of Gamergate when that kicked off.
I bet you were.
Oh, I was.
Yeah.
I was there going, oh my God, finally we're holding these fucking game journalists to thing because it's just PR and there's nothing. We really need to.
There were a lot of people who were taken in by that whole politics and journalism thing. I'll be honest, I paid it more lip service than I should have. Right at the start, I was definitely oh, well, it's important to have this conversation, but let's not let it go to this completely just being a useful idiot. I think there are a few people like that. I'll own up to being a useful idiot right at the start of that as well.
Sorry, internet, we made everything worse.
Yeah.
But we're trying to make it a little better now.
I think we're having a net neutral impact on the industry generally, both of us.
Because I've said something controversial, I should follow it up with my other controversial take. So I'm going to just fire this out there right now.
Oh, God.
I think that Starfleet Academy is the best Star Trek since Deep Space Nine.
I would disagree only in that I have reappraised Voyager a little over time, and that has bumped up in my liking. I like Voyager now more than I did when it aired. But yes, I think Starfleet Academy is genuinely great, and I do feel a little bit like I'm watching a different show to some people.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Starfleet Academy has the worst trailer I've ever seen for a Star Trek show.
See, I didn't see any of the marketing. Tell me about the marketing, because I didn't see any of that. Is that what it is? Did people just have it flavored for them before they tuned in?
The marketing was all sexy. It was like Deep Space 90210.
I mean, the show's a little bit that.
Yeah, but it was all like scenes where they're in their underwear and punching, and it was all explosions. And I'm like, what is this? Is supposed to be about kids learning?
Yeah.
Because I was there going, oh, this is going to be fucked. Because they were hot off of what, Section 31?
Yeah. There were like 2 or 3 ideas in that film that I quite liked. Like, there were moments.
Yeah, I've not bothered to watch it.
It's a solid pitch. I can imagine the pitch of a guy walking into Paramount and saying, what if we did Star Trek Mission Impossible? And then slamming the script down on the table and walking out having sold it. Because that's a solid pitch. The execution, not so great.
Yeah, when they're like, it's about a mirror universe person and Section 31, the worst part of Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
And we're gonna just do that. I'm like, no, I didn't bother. It's the only Star Trek thing I just didn't bother with.
I think that's a big thing I like about Starfleet Academy, and is that it has, in a good way, drunk the Star Trek Kool-Aid. A lot of Star Trek that's happened in the last decade feels like it wants to challenge Star Trek or dismiss Star Trek or change Star Trek and do like something else. I would say Starfleet Academy is like aggressively old school in that it's just about how like we should all just basically be decent people to each other. And I dig that. That's nice.
With the characters being sort of teenagers and early 20, I don't know how old they're supposed to be. Sort of college-y age, I suppose.
That's a nice way of solving the Star Trek problem of how do we make these characters from the future able to make mistakes and have arguments. Oh, they're teenagers. Cool. I will buy a stupid decision made by a teenager. Cool. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I'll buy the fact it's got a bit of swearing in it. Yeah. I'm like, that's fine, because they haven't learnt the TNG way of talking yet.
Exactly, yeah. They've not done the RSC voice training that every Starfleet officer has to do. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I will say they have done like 8 plays in this show. Like already, they just seem to be endlessly doing plays and debates and speeches.
That's school, though. That's
school I went to, Mike.
I was a theatre kid, so yeah, I'm 100%. That's my experience.
I assumed it was going to be like people getting swirlies in wormholes. You know, that was my kind of vibe.
Yeah,
but it was so. It's such a. Excuse me, my voice is fucking shit.
Me too today, actually. Great day to a podcast.
I blew my voice out recording a Pokepedia video. I got so excited by that game. I've been wanting it for so long. I've been like, this is the game of the year, and everyone's wrong who thinks it's not.
So can you give me an intro text? I've seen people talk about it, but I've not done this basic Googling on what it is. It's obviously, just tell me about it. I want to know about it.
Put Animal Crossing, Pokemon, and Minecraft in a blender.
Ooh.
Add a big hefty dash of the Dragon Age. What's the Dragon Quest? Dragon Quest Builders. That's the one.
So is it like their answer to Pal World? Then are they basically trying to like take it in that kind of user generated direction?
It feels like a Pokemon mod for a Dragon Quest game.
Okay.
For the Dragon Quest Builders games, which were kind of Minecraft / Animal Crossing things, but it's more about there's no combat. In Dragon Quest Builders, it is literally about building habitats so Pokemon appear, so you make friends with the Pokemon, and then their abilities can help you build. It's also post-apocalyptic and set in the Pokemon Red and Blue universe.
Sounds Viva Pinata.
It is a lot like Viva Pinata.
Yeah.
But it's got that more Animal Crossing sort of plinky-plonky versions of the Pokemon Red and Blue music playing throughout the thing. And it is just crack cocaine. It is pure, unadulterated.
This sounds like a Kerry game. This might be one that I get her for a spit. She'd love, because she was massively into Animal Crossing for years. Yeah.
This is that game that it feels like somebody who's played Minecraft and Animal Crossing went, okay, first things first, I'm going to make a list of all the things that annoy me about these games, and I'm going to fix each and every one of them.
Nice. Quality of life stuff.
And I'm just like, of course I could do that. Yeah, no, this makes sense. But it did a thing, and I'm not going to spoil it. It's in the video, but I do particularly want to spoil it, but it happened to be.
I don't watch any of your videos. I haven't read bad things.
Fair enough. I'm talking more to the general audience here, Mike.
To be fair, I've been watching. Well, it's not for them. I've been watching a lot of your Star Trek Voyager game videos though, because that appeals to me. I just have not got the space in my time to play it right now.
Space in your time.
Others would say schedule, but I say space in time.
Now we simplify things. We only use the 100 most basic words in cube and rectangle.
Like happy to have chat conversation, Dav.
Why use many word when few word do trick?
Good stuff.
Pokemon. I think a thing happened that I've wanted for so long a Pokemon game to do.
Yeah. And
it happened, and I do this like gasp, but it blew my throat out. It just completely blew my throat out. And like the rest of the recording, I'm so croaky, and I have yet to recover from it. So I'm quite croaky today.
Your voice was broken by pure joy, is what you're saying. That's amazing.
Literally, yes.
That's
absolutely
incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was. I said in the video. I was 8 again. For a moment, I just had that pure magic of Pokemon come back.
Oh, that's great.
Which it has not had since Gold, to be perfectly honest. That's where I think Pokemon games petered out after Gold. Color was a mistake for Pokemon games. That's my takeaway.
Nice.
They were better as a black and white franchise.
Yeah.
But no, the Voyager game. Oh my god, that's so good.
I played the demo and I was like, this is good enough that. For me, it's one of those games that it's like the Alters. Like, it's one of those games that I look at and I go, I guess it's genre-wise like the Alters, but specifically, it's one of those games that I look at and I go, I'm going to have a cold at some point, and I'm going to play this for 2 days straight. And it Alters, I just did that recently when I got my cold of the winter. I played Alters through in like 2 days. I will play that Voyager game at a point where I'm just a broken man on a sofa. That will be my game.
Well, I mean this in the nicest way possible, Mike. I hope you get sick soon.
Oh, you're a good friend, Dan. You're a good friend.
No, I'm playing it twice. So I'm playing it twice at the same time.
Are you doing like a canonical play and a non-canonical play or something? Are you doing like that kind of thing?
No. I'm playing it on normal difficulty on my computer, which is vicious, and I have to kind of play a few times just so I get a good ending that's good enough. Like I'm like, I'll re-roll this entire sector because I fucked too much stuff up, and I'm like learning and kind of playing it that way. I don't mind save scumming, who the hell cares? And then I'm also playing it on my Switch too. I'm one step behind, so I'm playing the sector that I've just finished on the PC. I then play it on my Switch 2 on easy difficulty, and that's like playing with plot armor on. And I know everything that's coming, and I can just, like, walk through it super easy. My Voyager's, is like, gorgeous, it's clean. And, like, the main one I'm playing, it's Year of Hell, and this one I'm just like, yeah, this is a lovely time. So I have, like, a cooldown version of it that I'm playing.
I saw that you have Tuvix. I saw that Tuvix is on your crew. That made me happy.
Yeah, he's great. It's a really interesting choice, because the moral side of things goes a little bit out the window, because you've thought about Tuvix, you stand Tuvix, but when you get to the game, you're presented with a thing of like, okay, these two characters that I've leveled up a lot will go away. and then I like, you're gonna replace it with this unknown guy, and then I went, oh, that's literally what Janeway felt, wasn't it? Now I've got that Janeway thing in there.
It's giving you a captain's perspective on the situation. That's good.
It did, but I went the other way with it. I kept Tuvix. And when you keep Tuvix, a screen comes up, it's like died in action, Tuvok, died in action, Neelix, and I went, oh, okay.
No, it's good. So
that was fun. It's great. It's got a little bit of jank. It's not got the biggest budget in the world, but I'm more than happy to walk around a little bit of jank just to have a great time.
Yeah.
Zoomed in and out of an LCARS Voyager. It's great.
The LCARS stuff, like, that is crack cocaine for me. That's I just want to click around an LCARS interface. That's, yeah.
My phone looks like LCARS. I think we talked about this in the last one.
We probably, in the lost episode.
The lost episode.
I probably still got my side of that conversation. Maybe we just released my side of the conversation from that episode. Just me going, yeah, okay, yeah.
Then laughing and then saying you have to edit that out.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Dad, don't leave that in. Yeah.
All right. Here's what we're going to do for our first thing.
Yeah.
To tie all this back together, Mike Bithell, we're going to go through every Star Trek TV series and give them a grade.
Nice. A tier list. Okay.
A tier list. Here we go. Because that's just... I don't know. Fuck it. I just wanted to do this. Just because I want to talk more about Starfleet Academy. I want to get back to there.
But to do that, we need to give it an hour beforehand to rate every single show report. Go for it. Let's start. Okay.
It's good so people know where we sit.
Yeah.
Original series. I'm giving it a B. I think there's great stories in there. I think it is an element of its time, and that every now and then you go, ooh. Ooh, okay. If we're doing like how influential it was, it's going to have to be like fucking S rank, but like if I want to watch a Star Trek, it's a B rank.
Yeah, it's not the first one I'm going to put on the rewatch. I think I'd probably agree with a B. I'll be honest. I didn't watch the original series till quite recently, and I'd say obviously the world views and politics have not aged amazingly well, but I was surprised at how fucking well written it was, and I don't know why I was surprised by that, but like it is good sci-fi writing. Like it is compelling, interesting, thinky sci-fi in a way that I think the show had already started to drift away from in Next Gen. Like it feels the most like Asimov-y Star Trek, which makes sense given its era. So I kind of love it on that level. But yeah, it's not a rewatch for me. It's not something I go back to a lot. But yeah, B sounds good. B sounds like it captures like high quality, but not the fav. Yeah, no, I think B works.
All right, then what's next?
It's probably animated series, but I've not seen.
Correct. That. Well done. That's because you're a massive nerd. I was making sure you got that one right.
That was that test. That was a test to make sure.
That was a test. Otherwise, I'm going to start grading you.
Do you know what though? I failed the test because I genuinely don't think I've ever watched a full episode of animated series. So.
Oh, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's not. I mean, it's got some fun stuff. I'm a big fan of like cartoons from that era. And it's like a C. It's not got the big ideas. Do you remember the Stargate TV show? Sorry, the Stargate animated TV show, not the Stargate live action. There was a Stargate animated TV show.
There was an animated I did not know there was an animated Stargate TV show.
I'm pretty sure there was, because I've just thought, I was like, what is it most like? Yeah, it's like that. I swear that was a thing. Stargate Infinity. There you go.
Fair play.
Only lasted one season. It's set 30 years in the future. So it's set in the year 2030. And they're all like aliens and robots and
good stuff.
Anyway, yeah, it's fine.
Okay,
it's fun to watch if you're a thing of that era, but like the episodes aren't like Star Trek-y. They're just sort of like a bit sillier.
I love that we made it as far as the animated series before we switched to a different sci-fi franchise. That's good.
Hey, Stargate's coming back!
I know.
Oh my god! I want to go see... If you're listening, Stargate, I want to go see the gate in person. Please tell me it's real and not a CGI thing, because then I'd cry. I want to hug the Stargate. It's such a wonderful thing.
Where are they filming it? Is it being made in the UK then?
Yes.
I would like to see that as well. Anyway, Next Gen.
So the question is, what's the highest rank we're doing when it comes to this point?
I mean, S tier, right?
S tier. Yeah, we'll do an S tier here. Next Generation is A+.
Next Generation will always be special because that was my entry point as a kid. Because I remember I watched... I had the whiplash as a kid of watching like series... I feel like I came in at Next Gen like at the peak. Like I think I started watching it like series 3.
Pretty sure it was on Wednesdays on BBC 2.
6 p.m. Yeah,
so I remember watching it as a kid as well. Yeah,
I used to structure my whole week around that BBC 2 6 p.m. slot as a kid. I loved it. It was that and Buffy and a bunch of other shows that we've forgotten. Space Precinct with young Idris Elba. Good times. He's in the pilot. He's dubbed with an American accent. It's great. It's really bad. It's really terrible. Anyway, so I came into Next Generation at its peak. I would say though, I think for me it's just an A. It's undeniably great, but it's again, I need to leave a little bit of room at the top because we're not there yet. I think it did have a very weak first season, although there's standout episodes, like it does work in places. It also had quite a weak final season, like which it gets people kind of ignore.
Yeah.
It was great, and the cast was incredible, and like I would say it's got the most iconic cast. I would say it wins on that. Like the characters and the performances are all like the most memorable. But yeah, I would say I'm going to give it an A just to give myself room.
I'd probably call it my favorite. If I'm just going to bang an episode of something on, it will almost always be Next Generation.
Interesting. Not for me.
Fighting, fighting talk.
Yeah, well, we're talking about like, you know, it's all good. Like Next Gen is excellent, but yeah, I need space for what comes next. So yeah.
So what comes next, Mike? What's
Deep
the
Space,
next show?
Deep Space Nine.
Oh, Deep Space Nine. So let's just S rank that from both of us, yeah?
That is S rank. That is the best Star Trek. Yeah. It's the best Star Trek because it is both a celebration of Star Trek, but also it does do the thing I just complained about new Star Trek doing of like, it challenges Star Trek. It knows that the way to make a show about those values is to test them. I think what it does in terms of, I mean, serialized storytelling, it's genuinely about 10 years ahead of its time, right? Like it does.
Oh, yeah.
The world building does. I imagine it's an interesting watch. If you're someone who's like in your 20s or even like early 30s now and you watch Deep Space Nine, I imagine it feels very old-fashioned, but at the time the idea that like you were rewarded for watching every episode of it and kind of staying on track with it story-wise is wild, and it was a big deal. I just was into the world building, and also the big thing, the weird inversion with Deep Space Nine is the guest stars are the iconic ones in it. It's this rolling cycle of like just incredible character actors.
Cardassian bastards, Bajoran bastards.
Yes, all of them are bastards. But like genuinely just like it's one of those shows where I mean the core cast are cool, obviously, but like the Garrick is my hero character in it. Like, but like these kind of recurring cast members were just amazing in it. So yeah, no, I love that. I love the world building and the politics and the kids. Like I watched it at the right time where I was kind of a teenager at that point, and I was just like really interested in the kind of the international politics of it all, and kind of that's done, you know, in a sci-fi show was really interesting. So yeah, loved it. That's the pinnacle for me. That's the Star Trek. That's the one that I will go back and rewatch a random episode from.
Yeah, I have to watch it all, Mike. If I go back, I watch the pilot and then it's a rewatch.
That's fair. That is fair, but also there are definitely like the funny episodes or the weird standout episodes. Like I need to listen to. There's a podcast at the moment. A couple of people I like listening to are doing it's a rewatch of DS9, but specifically only the Ferengi focused episodes, which is a solid premise for a podcast.
That podcast has got to be called something like Rules of Acquisition or something, right?
No, because it's Zach Ruane from Auntie Donna.
Okay, well I now need to listen to that. Literally need to listen to that.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called, but I will look it up for us while we're on the show. I'll do that now for you, for your benefit and no one else's. I'll look that up. But yeah, so no, Deep Space Nine, definitely the pinnacle from my perspective. When an episode's doing very well, I think, oh, that's nearly a DS9 episode from a different show, you know what I mean? It's the Mission Zach podcast, by the way.
Mission Zach.
The reason I was confused was it was formerly a podcast about the cinematic works of one specific actor. What was his? Bruno and Encanto. I'm literally Googling Bruno and Encanto now.
Google it.
I'm shutting down my Steam upload browser window to find this out. John Leguizamo, there you go. Anyway. But yeah, Deep Space Nine, that's the one. That is the standard by which I judge every other Star Trek. I also honestly as well, just Avery Brooks, just like that core Benjamin Sisko performance it's just the best. Like I would rather watch a Sisko show than the Picard show.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Oh yes, we will.
We'll get to that on this list.
Put a pin in that. Yeah.
There's a going into the titles cliffhanger in an episode of Starfleet Academy where a character goes, "I'm going to solve the mystery of Benjamin Sisko," and I think I just held my breath for a while. I was like, "Oh fuck!"
I'd managed. We'll come back to it, but yes, I managed to avoid. I knew that episode people were very excited about. I didn't know anything about it, and yeah, I was, as someone as well who's like a fan of the comic book, the recent kind of Continuing Adventures comic book that's been out, which is answers a similar question. Anyway, I don't know. I feel like Deep Space Nine's a bit dark, isn't it? It's not really What we need, here's an idea. Let's do a Star Trek that similarly explores the values of the Federation by pitting two groups against each other, which have vastly different views. And let's stick to that for 7 seasons and do really interesting character studies of those differences, right? Right, Doug?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. And actually, you know what? Let's give up on it within one fucking episode.
It's about the McKee and Starfleet learning fuck it. Borg!
I'm gonna jump to its defense because I think someone needs to. I think Voyager I like it more now. At the time, I was really disappointed because it felt like the stupid Star Trek.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it had the depth of Deep Space Nine. It felt very throwback.
Yeah.
Now watching it, I like it for that reason. It's a warm blanket of a show.
I must admit, I do bang it on for the odd random episode. I think it's got some really good characters. I think it's got some really plain characters.
It does have the most, a couple of those characters are very bland, but you can't go wrong with Robert Picardo as the Doctor.
No, you literally fucking can't. He's a delight. I've met him in the real world, and he is absolutely as lovely as you think he would be.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, absolute champion. Voyager for me, I've slowly fallen more in love with Voyager, but I think mostly because it has the best games. Like, all the good games of Voyager.
That's an interesting and very true point.
Yeah.
Why is that? Is that because it is a bit of a blank slate? Is that why that's the case? Is it kind of, it's archetypal. It's the vanilla ice cream of Star Trek.
It adds the instant adversity that you have, like, because Voyager Elite Force is a spectacular first-person shooter, which
great.
has some of like the best hidden secret mechanics that a game has ever. So there's a very early on mission where you shoot up, you go to like a Klingon. It's not Klingon, it's like a fusion of loads of things, but you get a thing off the combat to be like, hey, you should be quiet. And it's a fucking Quake engine shooter, right? I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to start blasting. So you go and you blast everyone. You find like a crewman who's dead, and you go, oh no, you beam him back, and you go and shoot the things, and you solve the mission. I only found out, like, on a playthrough a few years back, that if you don't go shooting and you do actually stealth through that area, the crewman doesn't die.
No way.
He doesn't get discovered, and he doesn't die. Yeah. It's full of shit like that. It's really intelligently built.
I always feel really bad for game designers who put so much work into that and nobody saw it. Yeah.
It has the best expansion pack, which is called Virtual Voyager, where you just go around the entirety of Voyager. I've spent too much time on Virtual Voyager.
I remember being, like, even the bits of Voyager that you're on in the main story there, like, it was just... because I was, as a kid, I played every Star Trek tie-in game, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Like, my education, I talked about this on another thing recently, but, like, my game nostalgia is not for, like, Mario and Sonic. It's for Star Trek Hidden Evil, the Star Trek Insurrection adventure game. Like, and also because they were often just clones, like, that is just a Resident Evil clone. Like, that's my framework for Resident Evil is like Star Trek Hidden Evil, but with zombies. There was a Klingon Honor Guard, so like a completely
love Klingon Honor Guard
first-person game. Yeah. Not as good as Elite Force by any means, but...
Yeah, but you could, like, stab people, because it was all gory and violent because you're a Klingon, and you could stab people, and if they're in space, their blood would go everywhere.
Yes.
It was great.
It was all obviously magenta. It was great. It was a really fun... Yeah. That was like, I played a lot of that Star Trek licensed stuff. And Star Trek Borg, which I returned because I finished it in like an hour, but I loved it. Weirdly, returned that and traded it in for the X-Files FMV. I basically played 2 FMV games back to back. But yeah, I think Voyager has stood the test of time because I think it is a very good entry level. If I was going to someone, I don't think anyone listening to this doesn't watch Star Trek, but if anyone was listening to this who's never seen an episode of Star Trek, I genuinely might suggest Voyager as an entry point. It would be between DS9 if you're into Breaking Bad, DS9's a good entry point. If you're more of a kind of a NBC primetime TV show fan, I would push you more towards Voyager. If you're pretentious, Deep Space Nine. If you are unpretentious and like going out with friends, Voyager.
That's probably why I don't like Voyager very much.
That's how I frame it. Like if I'm talking to someone who's never seen Star Trek, I will immediately make a value judgment about how much they would enjoy a 7 year show about essentially the truth and reconciliation process after the Second World War. If I feel like they're going to be into that, I will put it towards DS9. If I think they'd enjoy watching people run around corridors shooting aliens, I'll say Voyager.
Deep Space Nine is the Shin Godzilla of Star Trek.
It's you know what's it is. I love, man. I'm so glad you put me on Shin Godzilla. I love that so much.
Yes.
It is an interesting. Here we go. This is a meta thing in Star Trek. There is always this massive struggle with Star Trek that there is the stuff that does commercially well, and there is the stuff that is like the fans would say is like the pinnacle of Star Trek. And it's in the movies you see it play out with the whole, I've got an idea for a Star Trek movie. There's this really bad guy who hates the captain of the spaceship and is going to have his revenge upon him. And that is all the stuff that's done well has basically ripped off that premise, right? Over and over and over again. And Wrath of Khan is incredible. But like we haven't got 5 Let's Save the Whales Star Trek movies, have we?
No, which is, let's be honest, the Voyage Home is the best one, right? It is, Save the Whales is the best Star Trek movie.
Okay, speed run. Quick pause from before we carry on with the TV shows. Give me just one sentence and a ranking. We'll go through. Motion picture.
Slow but beautiful. I'd give it a B.
Wrath of Khan.
That's fucking S rank, man. It's a great time.
Search for Spock.
I never remember what Search for Spock does.
It's Doc Brown walking around a field.
Oh, he's the Klingon. Yeah.
It's fine. It gets things back on track, and it gets it's good director practice for Leonard Nimoy. Voyage Home.
S rank. Let's S rank that as well, because that's the 2 facets of Star Trek that I love.
Yeah.
It's
you're
silly.
right.
It's a delight.
2-4 is a solid watch back to back. You just have to accept that they're suddenly on a bird of prey, but other than that, you can watch 2 and 4 back to back. The one I discovered, 5. I always get the name of 5 because it's the most bad.
Final Frontier.
Final Frontier. D.
Yeah, I was gonna go D. Like, it's not.
It's a D movie with an A scene with the whole. The McCoy thinking about his like dying father is like a scene that just drops in from like an infinitely better film at one point. It's incredible, that scene, but the rest of it, yes, is not good.
Final Frontier is the one where he has "What does God want with the spaceship" line, which I think is that gets a whole grade from me. I love that.
That's a good OG Star Trek line for sure.
Undiscovered Country is just all right. People like it more than I do, I think.
Oh really? Oh, that's my S tier. That's my S tier movie, Undiscovered Country.
Oh really? Yeah. Well, there you go then. I'd be like B.
Let's do some international politics followed by an Agatha Christie story. Fucking S tier. No doubt.
Maybe it's time for a rewatch. I think it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Other than that, I agree with you on everything else. Like I was Wrath of Khan, I would knock down to an A just so there's an S tier for Undiscovered Country. But other than that, we're in alignment.
Well, what about Generations?
Generations for me is similar. It's the Voyager thing of I didn't like it when it came out, but I like it a lot more now.
It's not a good film. It's not a good Star Trek film. I'd probably give it an A, but right, here's the reason.
Yeah.
It's like one of the first Star Trek things I remember. I remember going to see that in the cinema. I was like 5. And my dad was like, come along and see this thing. And it was like my first exposure to like Star Trek, really, I think.
Okay.
And I just remember going, oh my God, what the heck? This is the best thing I've ever seen. And there's like I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was happening, but I love a bit of Malcolm McDowell. I love a bit of Whoopi Goldberg. I'm in. Yeah, fuck it. It's a terrible film.
It is a terrible film, but it's decent. It's also historically important because it's the foundation of a genuinely so bad it's good William Shatner novel series. If you've not read those, I need you to read those.
I've not read those. I've heard things about those, but I've not
They are incredible. They're the key. It's basically Kirk back from the dead, solving all the problems much better than Picard ever could. It is metatextually fascinating read. Because it's also so obviously ghost written. That's what's fun is the overarching plot of each, and it's is it the Reese Stevens? God, I can't remember the name, but it's like a very, very experienced Star Trek novelist ghostwriting a William Shatner story. So basically, each of the books is Kirk is the best guy ever and very sexy and definitely better than Picard. But the minutiae of each of the stories is like incredibly nerdy Star Trek deep cuts because it's being written by someone who's filling in the gaps essentially. There's a whole sequence where I can't remember which of the books it's in where like Kirk is trapped in a holodeck and the way he gets out is by like bunny hopping because the way the traction on the floor works is your foot has to be in contact with the floor for the field to move across. So he basically like glitches himself to a wall of the holodeck and then works his way around to find the door. And it's just stuff like that where it's like, there's no way William Shatner came up with that. That is a deep, nerdy Star Trek kind of brain going at work there. So yeah, no, I think you have to read those books.
Is that my homework?
That's your homework. I bought them for Kerry a little while ago, and they're not expensive. You can definitely find them cheap. So it's not like a massive. You should do it though. It's a weird egocentric fan fiction in the best possible way. Anyway, and then after that we've got First Contact. Where are you on that?
A B.
I'm higher because I was obsessed with Borg as a kid. So
I was obsessed with the Borg. I just think it's where the wheels fall off the TNG crew. It's too actiony.
It's very actiony. I really rate Jonathan Frakes as a director. I wish Frakes had done more non-Star Trek stuff.
It's a beautiful looking film.
He's genuinely a great actor. There is a mirror universe where like Frakes became essentially a cheaper James Cameron. Like there is 100% that universe, and I would have liked to live in that universe.
Has Frakes directed any of Starfleet Academy? I assume he has. Because
he's done 1 or 2 episodes of everything.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think he's been kind of a good connected tissue. His story as well of how he basically kind of bullied his way into or not bullied, but like nerdily begged to be able to direct, and essentially created a policy that led to a really nice off-ramp thing. Because Rosario Dawson is like a really good TV director, really respected. If you look at her IMDb, she's directed like 2 episodes of every TV show because she basically did the Jonathan Frakes thing on, and what's his name? The guy who plays Paris as well is a big TV director. They basically created this pipeline for the actors in Star Trek to become TV directors. So that's an interesting aspect. I think it's all because Frakes basically was kind of pushed his way into that room essentially, and then it became a thing where each series of Star Trek, there's like a couple of decent TV directors have come out of it. Anyway, so First Contact, I rate higher. I put it as an A because Borg are cool.
Borg are cool. Borg Queen is not cool.
Okay, from a sci-fi story point of view, I agree. From a teenage boy watching it point of view, she was awesome. Interaction.
I'm off on TNG, I think, on the TNG films from everyone else. Interaction is just an episode of TNG, but shot with really nice cameras.
You're 100% right. I would say, I think it was disappointing I found very disappointing after First Contact, but I think, yeah, it's the one I rewatched the most probably, because as you say, it's just like a very expensive episode of TV. It pairs very well with like streaming era television. Like it feels like a good if I wanted to get someone into Star Trek, actually that's probably even more so than Voyager, like just get them to chat. I don't know, does Insurrection really rely on you knowing it doesn't really rely on you knowing much about the characters or the story. It's just
I don't think so.
It's just an episode, isn't it? You could absolutely watch that in isolation. That's a good entry point as well. It's the only weirdness of it to me is watching it is how much it's about like 90s celebrity LA. That's the weirdest thing watching it, where you're like, this feels never before has Star Trek felt so much like it's made in a specific 20-mile radius. On every level, that is definitely talking about that. Nemesis, I'm guessing that's an S tier for you. Masterpiece.
You can go fuck yourself. That's an F. We'll go for a D.
Is that Tom Hardy's big break? Is that like Tom Hardy's enormous? I
wouldn't call it a big break. I'd call it a film that he was in.
Yeah,
that wasn't great.
No, I don't. Obviously, Nemesis sucks. I too would give that. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's bad.
It's a D. I'm going to give it a D. I'm going to need some lower letters for the J.J. Abrams ones. So I'm going to give it a D.
I'm gonna pop a C on that one just because I think it's.
Oh, interesting.
I don't think it's terrible. It's fine.
I'd give it one lower. I think it's not fine.
Okay. Star Trek, the reboot, J.J. Abrams.
All right. First 10 minutes are an S rank.
Yes.
Everything else is a D, so we'll average that out as a D.
You're right. The opening is incredible. I think it's a D film with an A score. That Giacchino.
Oh, the fucking music I listen to all the time. It's exceptional.
Like, I think that pulls it up for me just on a vibes level. I think it probably pulls up to, again, a C for me, or maybe even like a B minus potentially, I think.
I love the sound, but it's being pulled down for me by I think every person is casted wrong except Bones.
That's fair.
Which was just surprisingly, fantastically spot on, but everybody else I just think didn't do a good job.
I don't know. I think they got the core three okay. I think Chris Pine's a good Kirk, is he not? I think he's in there. He's kind of a dick.
Yeah, but Kirk's not a dick. If you watch original series, Kirk is like he's got like the bit of the swagger that came with the era, but he's actually like a decent officer.
Yeah. You're saying it's more in line with like the William Shatner persona than Kirk was. Yeah, that's fair.
It's more in line with the cultural remembrance of Kirk than what Kirk actually was like.
Well, that's the biggest problem with the Star Trek film, is it very much is a guy who's seen 3 episodes of Star Trek describing Star Trek to you. Like, it is.
Yeah.
It is painfully obvious that J.J. Abrams wishes he was doing Star Wars. I'm glad that found out for him eventually. But yeah.
And then he went and fucked that right up as well.
Next one was Star Trek Into Darkness.
F tier.
Just objectively bad. Yeah.
F. Let's F that shit, because that is a terrible fucking film. I hate, with one tiny glimmer that is keeping it above an F minus.
Go.
And that is that. I think that big, awesome, massive ship with the hole in the middle of it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Star Trek Beyond.
Oh, D.
Really?
I want to. Yeah, I don't like it. I know everyone's like, oh, it's like a fun. I'm like, no, it's the first contact of these 3 films where it's just action for the sake of it. But there's nothing interesting, or I just find it so. Oh, the Enterprise has been destroyed again, has it? Oh, and then something. I walked out. I've not finished. I've never seen the end of it. When they're playing the Beastie Boys and riding an Enterprise round. Look, I'm autistic, Mike, right? Since the last podcast, I've been diagnosed with autism, and I have Star Trek autism. I've got all the Micah Coda books that I love to read, and I go, oh, this is how the Enterprise D works.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I like about Star Trek, is that sort of, that world that they built. And Star Trek Beyond is a stupid, dumb, Fast and Furious movie in space that I hate.
No, I'm going to stand up for Beyond. I think I really liked it. I think Simon Pegg may be a naff Scotty, but he's actually a good Star Trek writer. I would put it up there with Insurrection for me. I would put it as like a CB, kind of a solid episode of television that unfortunately released in cinemas.
I would like to quote The Onion.
Tell me.
As my defense here, the Onion had a headline in sort of 2009 for the Star Trek reboot. But this always sticks with me, and I think this applies to Beyond more, of Trekkies bash new Star Trek film as fun, watchable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway, we got one more film to mention.
Oh. Section 31.
Section 31, yes. So I'm gonna give that a U for ungraded, because I've not watched it, because I'm not a fucking idiot.
I would know it too. It's a D or an F. It was clearly a TV movie. It was clearly a failed pilot. I think it's frustrating because, well, as you said, all the Section 31 stuff is frustrating because not really. The whole point of Section 31 is it's there to be wrong. So if you start leaning into it that's, that these spies are really cool, kind of falls apart. And then just lots of missed opportunities. I would say there were a couple of fun ideas in there. Honestly, if it hadn't been Star Trek and been reworked as like an original IP, I think I'd feel differently about it. I thought it was okay. It was, let's do Guardians of the Galaxy and Star Trek, and I think let's use the established in canon as pretty fucking bad people faction to do that. Not great.
It felt more like Star Trek's version of Concorde for me. Do you remember Concorde, Mike? Does anyone remember Concorde?
No one remembers Concord. No one remembers Concord.
High Guard? Any takers on High Guard?
I feel so bad for those teams, man. That sucks.
Oh my god, so bad. It's so much work and everything. And they're like, well, this game could maybe last 2 months if it's not great. You're like, really?
You are like optimistically, like a game like that represents like 10% of your career. That sucks to have something that you've devoted a chunk of your life to go for. Anyway, back to the TV shows.
Did we rate Voyager?
We did.
It's a hard
now
one
time
to give a grade to. Well, I didn't give a grade. I don't think I gave a grade to it.
Tell me.
I don't know. It's C or a B. It's definitely between the two.
Yeah.
Because I like a lot of the characters, but I just think a lot of it frustrated me. I never liked how clean Voyager stayed through the whole thing.
Which is why you're deliberately playing so badly in your in the game.
Yeah, deliberately.
Yeah.
Deliberately.
To create that realism. It's a B. I think anything below a B is you're being silly. You're being silly if you're giving it below a B.
Yeah, but the worst episode of Star Trek, well, the worst episode of Star Trek at that point is in there with Threshold, where they're like, we've worked out how to go warp 10, and with it felt clumsier. The scripts didn't feel as... It's when they started ignoring the sort of the world building, and they went, for this episode, this is what happens, and in no other episodes is that true. And Star Trek was very much built on the consistency of those things. I get B-. It's the only one I'm going to give like a thingy grade to, but B-.
That's fair. Enterprise.
Oh, Enterprise is a fiddly one, isn't it? Because it's got one really good series in there.
Is that the last one?
The one before last, the Xindi one.
See, I'm a first couple of seasons guy. I really liked where it was going before September 11th happened, basically, and completely course-corrected the whole thing.
That's kind of what I liked about it, was when they went, Earth's been blown up by this laser beam, and there's a bigger laser beam coming, and we have to go into this scary bit of space and do a thing. And I'm like, yeah, this is Voyager. This trip here is kind of what Voyager should have been, because when Enterprise comes back for that, it's fucking obliterated. It's barely holding together. I think the weakness of Enterprise, though, is the characters there are as few and far between decent characters in that show.
That's fair.
Captain Archer's great. Trip, pretty good. I like Trip. Everyone else, I can't remember. I can't. Oh, T'Pol, who was there just to go into underwear all the time.
That's them learning the wrong lesson from 7 of 9, right? That's the...
Yeah, 7 of 9, when they went, hey, actually, let's give her a really compelling character and tie her into the villains of the show. And, you know, she's in this ridiculously skimpy outfit, but the actual character's genuinely brilliant. And with T'Pol, they were like, yeah, we just need the outfit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with C for Enterprise. Because again, the Xindi series, I think, is genuinely brilliant science fiction television. And a cool sort of alien faction divided between different sort of variants of the species. I think that's an excellent... It's such a good season and one to kind of... And they had some really cool stuff like the Enterprise J, where they go to the future shop, the Enterprise J. That's such a stupid design and I love it.
That's the one where it's all like stretched out, right? It looks like it's reflective.
Because it's got like
chrome.
A highway running through the middle of it. And it's a big city, because it's supposed to be like a domed city in space kind of thing. And I love that vibe. I think that's really cool. The ship itself, Enterprise itself, I think is a beautiful ship. I love how it looked modern, but was very much old. They handled that really well in a way that I don't think stuff like Discovery did, where everything looks like it's from the JJ universe in the far future. Enterprise looks like a space shuttle. You know, it looks like a submarine. It looks old, but it's shot really nice and beautifully. And I think that's a really nice ship. The season 5 Enterprise, which they never got to because it was cancelled after 4th season, with the nacelle at the bottom, I think is my favourite, most beautifully designed Enterprise. I love the look of that ship so much.
I'd say that's fair. I'm a C because I actually like the earlier stuff. I like the grappling hook, we don't want to use the teleporters, all of that nonsense. I was interested, but I don't think it definitely wasn't enough to sustain the show, which is why I assume they did the more interesting stuff they did later. But I kind of liked the Star Trek without the power that you get later. I thought that was fun. But yeah, no, it's a flawed show for sure.
We'll be remiss if we don't point out the worst finale, right?
Oh, like massively disrespectful to everything they built. Yeah.
The whole show's building up to one speech, and they're like, let's not show it. Let's have an episode of TNG instead.
Yeah. No, it was not good. It was not good. Okay, let's go to what's next. Yes, it's a bit of a break now. We take a bit of a break.
We take a bit of a break for 16
Everyone
years.
who likes those shows gets old and angry that they're no longer kids.
Yeah.
And then we come back with Discovery, right? Discovery's
the first one back, yeah.
How do you feel about Discovery?
Discovery is a hard show to put a grade on. I've not seen all of Discovery. I watched a bit of the first season, the first few episodes, and went, fuck that. I came back for I think Pike was the second season, and I kind of watched it for Pike. And then I watched the first series in the future, but that was naff. And so I think I've seen 3 out of its 5 seasons. I think there's one really solid character in Saru. I don't know any of the other characters there. Oh, and Jet Reno. I fucking love a bit of Tig Notaro. So there was good, but I hated everything about it. I'm not gonna lie, Mike. I fucking hate that show. It brought Star Trek back. I'm grateful that it brought Star Trek back. I'm grateful it gave us Strange New Worlds. As a show to sit down and watch, it's F. It's an F tier show.
I think it massively suffered from we are making 10-hour movies rather than TV shows here. I think it fundamentally it missed the point that Star Trek is episodic. Even Deep Space Nine, where you need those moments. It also really suffered from the kind of the lost thing of always trying to like put mystery boxes on top of mystery boxes.
And everybody crying all the time.
That was a big one for me, was like tonally, everyone was very excited and surprised to be in space.
Yeah.
And that really annoyed me. Because one of the things I loved about Star Trek, and I also had all those all the reference books drawn out, was I believed it.
Yeah.
Like, it was a believable, coherent world, and I believe that the characters on that show lived in the world. And I don't think no other sci-fi show to me has come close to doing that. And then you watch Discovery, and it feels like it's a bunch of like modern day people who are excited to be in space, and it's like, I'm sorry, like I don't get excited every time I get on the motorway, you know what I mean? Like it's fundamentally just it felt wrong. It didn't feel like it existed and it didn't feel lived in.
It doesn't look lived in. It's the problem from this moment on. We're going to have this problem consistently, but every show doesn't look like it's a place where people actually would want to spend any time. They all look like shiny boxes of hate. I miss miss the Enterprise's carpets. I miss DS9 looking like a fucking Fallout 4 shelter that you've built.
Yeah,
right. It was a shithole. Was Deep Space Nine, but it felt like a place you could actually live.
Next Generation was an 80s conference room. Like GDC every year is held in a space that looks or DICE. They kind of the games conferences that I feel like I'm in Star Trek when I'm at them, because it is all of these kind of boring older hotels with like carpeted conference rooms. I think it was a good cast, Discovery. I think the first season I thought was quite strong. I quite enjoyed the first season.
Those first 3 episodes are rough.
I got through them, yes, but I like where it went. I liked what that show was in the first, like it taken in the whole. I just don't think, like you said, it was the Vanguard. It brought it back. I think they made some core decisions that were not great, and I think a lot of the stuff that came later, Discovery sank so that they could swim. They kind of learned those lessons and changed how they did things a bit based on that. So yeah, it's to me it's a C. Yeah, it's fine, but it's not. No one should be embarrassed by it, but it was not where it could go next.
Oh, I think it would help if they were a little. They would be a little embarrassed by it. That would be nice. Next would be short tracks.
I never saw those. So what do you think of those?
It's a very mixed bag, as you would get with a shorts thing. I think giving it like a C is a fair thing, because some of them I'm like, this was just like a prequel to Picard. It doesn't really do anything for me. And some of them, there's a few that I'm just like, oh, that was a cool little sci-fi short story. Yeah, nothing like super like, oh, you have to watch this. Fair to good. That's what I would call it. Give it a C. And then, next we got a really hard one to score. Because next is Picard, Mike. Oh God, you've gone. Mike's gone.
Hello. Yeah, you're just got a lot of clatter on your. My AirPod fell out of my ear because I was so angry at the fact that we had to talk about Star Trek Picard. Which season of Star Trek Picard is my immediate question, because there's been some differences between those seasons.
Yeah, 1 and 2 are F grade, right? They are shit.
Genuinely terrible television, yeah.
Hateful shit. And then the 3rd season, I think, is a really solid, getting the gang back together, fun story B.
Yeah, it suffers from the same issue I'm gonna put at Lower Decks when we get to it, of fan servicey, kind of giving me too much dessert.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of, it doesn't, that 3rd series of Picard does not move anything forward. It doesn't change the franchise, it doesn't add anything. It's very much, it's just referential. Here's some stuff you liked. I think that's the criticism I'd throw at it.
I mean, it did give us what's his face as our favourite new captain. What was his name? Captain Shaw. That was his name. Remember Captain Shaw? He was fucking great.
Yes, he was good.
I just enjoyed him just not taking any of the shit.
It was that 3rd series clearly was made with love, and it did work. But it was, it didn't feel like, it felt like consolation prize to old school fans rather than pushing things forward.
Yeah.
Which I think other shows since then have done better at.
I think what it did is it repaired the damage that season 1 and 2 of Picard did.
That's probably true.
I think, if anything, it got things back to the status quo.
Yeah. I think it's just fundamentally, like, I really love Patrick Stewart, but I don't love his choices whenever he's put in a position of power.
Yeah.
Because you see him gaining power through the movies and demanding more action scenes and romance scenes and all of that stuff, the movie star shit.
Yeah.
And then I think the TV show, I think he's an amazing actor. I think he needs a director that's more powerful than him.
Yeah, Jonathan Frakes. That's who he needs. Frakes is clearly more powerful than Picard. We know this. I'd say, actually, I don't know, we haven't spoken about this. I've recently starred in a film with a cast of TNG, member of TNG cast.
Oh, who's that?
With Marina Sirtis. I was in Ashton's newest film.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's got Marina Sirtis in it, so I spent time on set with.
Cool.
When we done recording, I got stories to tell you, Mike.
I've heard Marina Sirtis stories in the past, so that I will exchange the Marina Sirtis stories with you off mic.
Excellent. I will say this in the public bit though. I adored working with her. She is a absolute fucking firecracker. Yeah.
Yes. To be clear, my stories are all good. Yeah, no.
Absolute. I loved absolutely every second. It was just so surreal. Anyway, so Picard out of the way. Lower Decks.
Yes.
Lower Decks. Right, Lower Decks is getting an A from me. Not an A+, not an S rank. I love Lower Decks, but you need to have not only watched and rewatched the original, like TNG, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine, but you need to basically know them off by heart.
Yes.
And every now and then it'll reference stuff. I'm like, I don't even know what you're referencing here. What's this big Spock? Oh, it was from an episode of the animated series. Okay. But I do think that character-wise, and its first series was a bit rough because it was trying to be a bit Rick and Morty-y. I think character-wise, they nailed it. Tone-wise, it's well away from what Star Trek is, but I still think in its own way, it was Star Trek.
I think tonally, like, for me, I think it's surprising how many episodes of it do feel very Star Trek-y in terms of, like, the problem solving, the stories. Like, I was pleasantly surprised by it. I thought it kind of nails that stuff more often than not. It was I keep saying was. I'm so sad I'm saying was, because I miss it. I want more. It's a show that it could have gone on forever, and I wish it had gone on longer. But it was great characters. I loved all the characters. Nowhere near any action figures. I want action figures of those characters. Come on. Where's my 10D action figure? For the love of fucking God, I want a 10D action figure. But yeah, it just knocks a few points off because it's hard to recommend to people who haven't been autistic. But I genuinely, I think it's that's the best Star Trek since Deep Space Nine until Starfleet Academy came along, and I think that's better. But we'll get to that. Actually, no, something else has come along that's better. Prodigy. Yeah, I really like Prodigy. I thought that was. I've not watched all of it yet. I watch it in bursts, but what I've seen of it, I really liked, because it pushes characters forward. Like, I think that's the thing, is that's what I like about it as opposed to Lower Decks, is that it's not just relying, it feels like it's for a new audience, and part of that is obviously that it is for kids.
Yeah.
Predominantly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it feels like it's moving things forward. I like that a lot.
It would have been my favorite show growing up. Absolutely.
100%, yeah.
Oh my god, Prodigy I would have just loved forever. I love it now. Prodigy is one of those shows you go, oh, it's the for kids Star Trek. It looks a bit like Ratchet and Clank with all the character designs. And then you watch it, and then you go, oh, this is great. This is like brilliant science fiction and brilliant character work. A really cool looking starship that's small, so it fits the characters. And I love it. I do. I think it's the most underrated Star Trek series is Prodigy. The fact it sort of was cancelled after one series and they brought it back because series 2 was basically done. Like Netflix bought it again because Paramount were like, we don't want this. Just shows, but Paramount doesn't have a fucking clue about Star Trek. It's the Nickelodeon version of Star Trek, and it works so well because it just understands what Star Trek is. Isn't it amazing what happens when it understands what Star Trek is? This has got Jason Mantzoukas in it, so it's got Taskmaster tie-ins, you know? This is...
There you go.
Prodigy gets an A from me. What was after Prodigy? Strange New Worlds after Prodigy, wasn't it?
Which I like. I think it's definitely a miss, but I would say that's the first of the kind of, we're just going to do the 90s Star Trek. Yeah. Structurally. And I like that. I like the episodic nature of it.
Yeah.
I don't think every episode of it works completely, but I thought it was impressive. I think the cast is fine. It's an interesting mix of actors who feel a little bit throwback to kind of the incredibly emotionally charged performances stuff.
Yeah.
But then also actors who are playing it more like they're in a 90s episodic show. It's interesting. I think when it works really well. I think some of it went too zany. But yeah, I would say that's the one that feels the most like a 90s Star Trek. That is honestly the one that I'm most likely to at some point watch again, I think, of the new stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not chucking on like Discovery or Picard to watch again. But, like,
no, I never want to, thank you.
Throwing on a couple of favorite episodes of Strange New Worlds. Cool. And some of those episodes, even the ones that are very stupid, I quite liked the inventiveness, like the zombie episode,
musical. We got puppet episodes.
The musical I have problems with because like in the musical episode,
I know. I remember that fucking discussion we had on a different podcast that we don't talk about.
We don't talk about. It never existed. I'm so angry at that musical episode. You are canonically dealing with Klingons who love opera. This is known. This is franchise lore.
For me, Strange New Worlds is B rank. It is a fun show.
Yes, it's that.
That I think it's got loads of... It understands what Star Trek is. I just think for me, I need it to take the foot off the melodrama. I don't... Spock is fucking his way around that entire crew, and I just don't need that. His thing with Nurse Chapel, I think, was heartbreaking, and I'm like, oh, because this is why, this half-human Vulcan that we see is the most Vulcan of all time in original series. We're learning that because of Nurse Chapel and all that stuff. And then he's like, nah, it's going to be loads of them, and they're going to die, and it's going to be sad. I'm like... That's kind of worked for me. I like the sillier episodes.
Yeah.
I don't mind a silly episode. I don't mind a musical. I don't mind a puppet episode. It's Star Trek. It's fun. I do think that the last season fell down because it had a really bad enemy in that sort of... It's the demon from beyond space thing. And I was like, oh, there's so many episodes about this fucking thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's got the best theme song that they've had for ages as well. That's such a good... I love that. I always watch that, the whole thing, the whole section all the way through the start. I'm like, yes, we're watching this entire fucking thing. I like Strange New Worlds. I definitely, if it, I'm giving it a B for now, but if it can sort of just pull back on that melodrama a little, I think it can wangle up to an A rank. Because I slightly disagree with what you said there. I genuinely think the casting in this show is the best casting we've had since the big three. Like, it is so good.
Okay.
I even think Ethan Peck is like the best version of Spock. Genuinely.
He is solid, and what's great is he's not making the Vulcan he understands the Vulcans have emotions.
Yeah.
Which is the thing that I feel a lot of people who've played Vulcans don't.
I mean, and the reason this went from it, because I was like, Strange New Worlds probably an A, but then I went, oh, there was that Vulcan episode in the last series where everyone played it like they were the fucking aliens from, what was that Tim Allen sci-fi?
Oh, Galaxy
Quest. It's the aliens from Galaxy Quest. They were like, yes.
That's true. Yeah.
We like to talk like this. We are Vulcans. But Ethan Peck is really mastered the part. I genuinely think his Spock is one of the finest. I think it's as good as Carl Urban's Bones. Like, genuinely, how good it is. I do think Pike as well. He's got captain energy. He's got that captain weight, and I like that it has that TNG competency to it.
Yes.
You know, it has that, and I like that it has those hanging out moments. Picard was always distant from his crew deliberately, but like you see Pike cooking up things, and Pike laughing when What's-Her-Face turns up in the full dress gear very early on in the show, when Uhura turns up, maybe the first episode. But him like having his chef, he goes, you got by the thing. Like that double take, I'm like, oh, he's so cool. Like, he's so a captain. And I can see why people would be drawn to him as a captain. Like, he's got that sort of energy and he's got that vibe. But yeah, I think the most recent series has definitely pulled it down because they have gone a little off the rails. So hopefully they can bring that back a bit. And then, did you give it a grade? Or are you giving any of these grades? I've lost track.
I've given them some. That's all right. I'm a vital part of the podcast. I think I'd pull that up to a B. I think that's solid track. Yeah.
And then we get to Starfleet Academy,
which we hate because it's woke.
We hate because there was a joke in the early episode of a character saying, "I swallowed my comm badge."
I don't like that she sits on a chair weird. That's the one I've seen bounce around a lot. It's like, come on.
That is my favourite thing about Captain. What's it, Captain Ake something? I can't fucking remember. It's only been like 8 episodes.
Nala, right?
Yeah, Nala Ake, I think it is. I can't fucking remember. As of recording, I've only just seen. I think there's 2 episodes left I haven't seen.
Yeah, so, I've not seen all of it yet.
Have you watched the? I'm going to just say this: the black and white one.
No.
Okay. So you haven't seen the best episode of the series.
Cool. Well, that's good then. That's good because I still think it's at least. I think it's at least a B. I think there's a chance of it creeping into the A category over time. I genuinely think it's great.
For me, this is going to say a lot about me. I genuinely think if it can land this first season as hard as it has the rest of the other episodes, this is looking like S tier for me. Like literally that fucking high.
Yeah. I'd go as far as saying it's one of the best first series of any Star Trek, I think.
Ooh, is it the best? Progeny's first series is fucking excellent, though. Oh, it is a good first series. Like, it's a really good first series. It's so just nailed. You know what it is? Because Star Trek originally, the whole point of Star Trek is it's looking forwards. You know, we had original series, which was like Cold War shit, right? And then you go TNG and it's all fucking Middle East wars and dealing with that sort of, 9/11 and terrorism. And it was terrorism. It's Deep Space Nine is a show about terrorism. And what's the difference between a terrorist and a freedom fighter? I don't know, let's make one of our lead characters a fucking terrorist and see what happens. This is the show that is the post-COVID, post-Trump presidency show. It's rebuilding. It's taken the concept of the burn in Discovery, where everyone just blew up because Discovery, and actually turned that into an interesting idea.
Yes, 100%.
It's gone, okay, let's take that thing that we've got into real world and we'll go, that is equivalent to this thing. That is equivalent to COVID. That is the equivalent to, whatever Trump's fucking doing. This is what happened. These are the kids that have to build back after that.
That's a really interesting take, framing in that way. A right. I agree. I think that aspect of it, because the burn, I remember when I saw that in Discovery being kind of disinterested, feeling it was a bit of a messy idea. But yes, this is we will rebuild. That's a lovely theme in the whole thing. It's also, again, it feels like all of the choices they're making are designed to just make the story more interesting and to mix things up.
Yeah.
They're stirring the pot in a way that just will lead to good stories.
Yeah.
And then just having enough range in those characters that they can pull it off. No, I think it's brilliant.
It truly, because I saw those first trailers and I went, oh, this is going to be shit. It looks like a Discovery. It's all shiny. It's all of explosions and underwear, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be fucking terrible. This is going to be terrible. And then I have been more than nicely surprised. I have been blown away. I have wept at multiple episodes. I love so many of these characters already. I'm not good with names, but that's fine.
Yeah, me neither, to be fair.
I mean, some of these episodes have just been...
Except Avatar. I can remember all the names of the characters in Avatar. That's the only one.
Let's see if I can name one. Paul blue face.
That's right. You're right. You nailed it.
Nailed it. That's the main character. Yeah, poor Blueface. We have Sam, I think, is the character that I want to talk the most about, because I think Sam is what separates Starfleet Academy from the other show. So Sam is a hologram. She is from a world of synthetic organisms who basically left their people behind and went and were like, look, we're going to go and be alive over here. And Sam is the emissary to those people. She is the first sort of one of these holograms to go and talk to organic people and sort of work out what she's doing. She is like brand new. She's only existed for a short amount of time, like days when she turns up, and she's been programmed to be a 17-year-old girl. That is a fucking nightmare for anyone. Imagine the day you're born, they're like, right, you're 17, off to school.
Yeah.
It's a fucking nightmare. And her character is the learning about humans character, which is always, as we know, the best character in Star Trek. Always.
Facts. Yes.
Always. Data and Spock and Odo. It's
no
always...
No one's yet said to her explicitly, you're like Pinocchio, you are, which is always my least favourite scene in the series of Star Trek. They go out of the way in the pilot episode of Next Gen, which I respected, but like, yeah, no, Amy's always the best character. She's also got the genius of putting Robert Picardo in there as her mentor as well. And just being like, oh, not only are you the learning what humans are all about character, but you're learning that from the what are the humans about character from Voyager. It's clever.
And he is really distant because he's 800 years old at this point and he's lost so fucking much.
Yeah.
But Sam isn't the sort of the quiet, inquisitive sort of like, I don't understand. She's optimistic. She's bubbly. She's shiny. She's pulling through. She's like, I want to learn. I'm so excited to learn.
Yeah.
And we've never had that in Star Trek. That's so fucking weird. We've not had that as a character in Star Trek, of the bubbly, I'm learning about it, he's the human, cool character.
Yeah. But it makes sense. And what I like about that, because I just said I didn't like that kind of aspect of the Discovery characters, because they're humans who've grown up in their world.
Yeah.
It's narratively justified excitement.
Yeah.
Which makes it much more enjoyable for me, because I'm like, okay, this speaks to character. This comes from character.
Super interesting is that this character is completely sort of different now, where I am in the show compared to where you are in the show.
Okay.
I was just going to say again, the black and white episode is the episode where Robert Picardo earns his acting chops as one of the finest Star Trek actors of all time, because he shows all 800 years of sadness and brokenheartedness. And
okay, I'll pause. Do not.
The weight of it.
Say, wait for me. I don't want to get in there yet. That's exciting, though.
That's the episode where I went, oh, this show is fucking perfect. When the Deep Space Nine episode happened, and it was like, we're going to solve the mystery of what happened to Cisco, I went, oh, fuck. Oh, you're going to ruin this. You're going to ruin it.
I genuinely got tears. I got teary. The final, I won't say what, but the final reveal of that episode.
Yeah.
Is so, like, tastefully and subtly done.
Yeah.
And just broke me. I loved it so much.
I completely agree. But that episode, I was like, this is going to... and I said I held my breath. Like, literally, I was like, oh, they're going to fuck it up. And then the credits played, and it said it was written by Tawny Newsome. And I went, oh, we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Because those who don't know, Tawny Newsome, who's the voice of Mariner in Lower Decks, who has written some stuff, should be running Star Trek. And if there's any fucking justice in this world, she will be running Star Trek.
I've got some terrible news for you about the Paramount company, I'm afraid.
Let's not think about that. Let's start a petition now that she could buy the rights to Star Trek, right?
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I'm your friend. I agree with you. I don't like your chances.
No, neither do I. I don't think we're ever going to see Star Trek again, which is...
I don't think we will. I'm genuinely worried Starfleet Academy is now going to get cancelled.
Editing Dan here. Yeah, they cancelled Starfleet Academy in between recording this and uploading this. And they cancelled it on my birthday, which it felt a bit deliberate. Oh, it's absolutely getting cancelled. There's no way. But they have recorded a second season.
Oh, they have? Oh, that's good.
They've just wrapped on the second season. So it's getting a second season.
Okay, well, Hopefully that doesn't get Zaz laughed and that will actually come out. We'll see.
I really need that show to come out because Starfleet Academy is the show that I just want after every episode I just want to grab people in the street and be like, look, this is what we've been missing. It's this is new. This is the new Star Trek show. This is a point where I'm like, actually, if we carried on the franchise from here and the timeline from here, I'd actually be happy with it. It's heavy and it's light and it's got some when they go to the away mission thing, the test away mission thing, the episode is like the tensest. It's like fucking Phone Booth. Do you remember the film Phone Booth?
That film is exceptionally special to me for reasons I'll share after the episode has been recorded.
Yeah. You played the Phone Booth. You're actually
I played the Phone Booth.
But the captain is an old cat. I love her because she's sitting there on the captain's chair. She's got bare feet because fuck it. She's hundreds of years old as well because she's like half Lanthanite or something. I don't know. Like there's a scene in that super tense episode between her and the sort of the main baddie of the series. You know, who we were introduced to in the early ones, and that scene between them, I was like, this is the best scene in Star Trek that we've had since Deep Space Nine. This scene right here, and it is two people having a conversation.
Yes.
There's two people talking, and this is the best Star Trek has ever been, and the most Star Trek has been in so long. And it's one dude with makeup on, one person without makeup on, talking. And they got it. They've got it. And if there's any justice in the world, Starfleet Academy will run for 170 fucking 8 episodes or however long the old ones did. It won't. It will run for 20. And that's so disappointing because this show just has... I just adore every second of it.
No, I agree.
I even think the plate, even though it's all shiny and all that sort of shit, like when they show their dorms and stuff, I'm like, that's kind of comfy. And you know the greens, the grounds and everything, and the ship. I'm not a big fan of the ships that aren't attached, like the nacelles aren't attached.
Yeah,
it doesn't really work for me. I understand. I'm like, yeah, basically, you know, most the Enterprises are held together with science anyway, because you just shear all the bits off if you try to go that fast in space. I understand, but it just. When the saucer separated on the Enterprise D, you could feel the engineering.
Yes.
You're like, that is so big and such a thing. And making those two connect and like separate, you could just feel the engineering. And when like the nacelles just aren't like attached, I'm like, like, it's just, all right, it's magnets or something.
Yeah.
It's less, you know, touchable. And I think that this show very much sticks on that touchable thing. But everyone's always carrying a pad around with them. I love that. It's bigger than any phone ever. They've always got them in their arms.
No, you're absolutely right. That is a big part of the tactile nature of it.
Yeah.
But I think it's also just because we're not being asked to believe an impossible thing every week.
Yeah.
Like it is, there's a set of rules and they tend to stick to them. Yeah. I also just think, I think Nala's like just incredibly well observed that it is this character who's old enough that she's just very comfortable.
Yeah.
And that comfort and the whole like walking around without shoes on and sitting in like, yeah, fuck it. If I'd been alive for hundreds of years, I'd probably stop giving a fuck about whether I was sitting up straight.
My favourite bit is she goes into that canteen to meet someone, or it was got head of the war college or something.
Yeah.
And she's barefoot and she's just wearing like baggy clothes. And there's a like discarded food and drink on the side, and she picks up a random mug and starts drinking from it.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the fuck? I absolutely love that character as a bit. It's such a great show.
It's ridiculous. But it appeals to me.
Yeah. So I think it's on the way. If it can just keep this momentum up, it is going to be S rank, and it is going to go maybe above TNG for me. Like, that is the level of sort of...
Okay.
I love TNG's competence born. I love the fact it's timelessly written, and this is not timelessly written. There's a hangry reference in the first episode, and I'm like, but it doesn't matter because these are the kids. This is the wonderful excuse that this show has, is that I can push all that away because I'm like, it's fucking another few hundred years in the future, and these are the kids.
Yes.
And this is they're learning. It's also got what's-her-face, Jeannie Asheray in it, playing a half Klingon. Oh, what is she? She's half Klingon, half...
Jem'Hadar.
Like the most violent combination.
But I love that. I love that combo.
Yeah.
Like the whole... what's she say at one point? It's that... my father told, I'm gonna massively ruin this, I'm saying it wrong, but like my father taught me today was a good day to die, but my mother taught me that to live is the greatest battle. Something, just the way they're combining those cultures is just, it's fun. I'm looking forward to some episodes focused on her for sure, which will presumably come at some point.
That's, oh god, I hope. And then they put in a lesbian relationship with Jet Reno, so we get this weird little odd couple of this ultimate warrior who's just this woman who just doesn't give a fuck. She's just so sarcastic and
which makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
Like that's just that's a relationship that you're like, yeah, that is the pairing. That would work.
Yeah, that tracks. Yeah. That completely tracks. And I just, if you haven't given Starfleet Academy a go, and we've now dedicated an hour and a half of a podcast to this, I want to talk about so many other things. Have you watched the Scrubs reboot yet? Or Scrubs continuation?
I've not. How's that one?
Excellent.
Really? I'd totally written it off.
Oh god, no. They've absolutely nailed it.
I had totally written it off.
It's being showrun by, if you know your Scrubs, the woman who had a really high-pitched voice. The Doctor who had really...
Yeah.
She took ridiculously high voice, just like in a few scenes and stuff, but she's now like the showrunner of it. And she understands what made Scrubs good. And it just feels like another season of Scrubs. It doesn't feel like the fucking Frasier reboot where they're like, let's change everything up, which is always shit. Nobody wants that.
That was my assumption, was there was going to be kind of like the Frasier one.
No, it is literally season 9 of Scrubs, or season 10. But although it completely retconned season 9, the spin-off series completely retconned. Nothing that happened in that series has happened in the show.
Really?
It's gone. Yeah, no, because it's like they're like, oh yeah, the Sacred Heart got destroyed and we built this new hospital for this spin-off. Is like the opening joke of that season of Scrubs. And in this one, Sacred Heart's just back and they're not explaining it. They've rebuilt, but Sacred Heart was filmed in an actual hospital that has since been demolished. So they have rebuilt all the sets one to one.
Oh, they've rebuilt that as a set. That's fun.
They've rebuilt everything. It's huge. It's just...
That's fun.
Yeah, so they've put the effort in. The scripts so far are really landing for me. The jokes are landing for me. The way it's shot, the sound effects, the music, it's all there. It even has like... my favourite joke so far there is a massive plot development that's happened between the 2 points, and it is the most throwaway line ever. And it's just so funny. It's really funny. I've properly laughed at it. It's got the poignancy. Yeah, they fucking nailed it.
Okay. I watched like 1 or 2 episodes of the Frasier one and was like, this is not, which again, just to place us very specifically as British people in a certain age, like Frasier was at 10 a.m., was like, no, earlier, like 8 a.m. on, was it Channel 3, I want to say?
Oh, I don't
know. I
know.
remember watching Frasier before school as a kid.
Yeah.
And that was fine. It was a nice thing to half watch. But no, I'm only interested in the new stuff. But a very Paramount Plus heavy episode, this one.
Yeah, well, that's a good time to reveal our sponsor for today, Netflix. Oh, yes, Mike.
Hello.
So, in the second Lost episode of this, I set you homework.
You did.
I set you the homework, and I know you've done it because you've messaged me how uncomfortable it has made you. Mike, would you like to tell us about the film Friendship?
I didn't care for it. It's fair to say. I think what I've learned is that I love I Think You Should Leave and nothing else that Tim Robinson has done. And I say that with respect. He's obviously a genius, but I think what it is the tension he's so good at making. If I don't have a release valve for that every couple of minutes via like sketch comedy, I can't take it.
I've got a message here. I've kept this from the 28th of November from you.
28th of November, that's, yep.
I can only watch Friendship in like 15-minute bursts.
Yeah.
It's the most stressful thing I've watched since Uncut Gems.
100%. And at least Uncut Gems, the movie's telling you it's okay to be uncomfortable. Like there's something about uncut, like a thriller I'm fine with because the tension is the point.
Yeah.
Friendship is this weird horror comedy awkwardness. Like, yeah,
it's a horror comedy with no horror and very little comedy.
Yeah, exactly. I can't take it. I get indigestion.
Excellent film. I had such a wonderful time.
That's the thing. Is one of those things where it's like he is very good.
Yeah.
I'm very happy for him to be very good somewhere else.
It's my thing. I love awkward, uncomfortable comedy like that.
Yeah.
I find it so funny. I just, yum, 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 yum. I care not for these mortals and their social knowings. I just want to see them be uncomfortable. I love that shit.
Enough.
I love that shit. Wait, you sent me a film to watch. I can't remember what you sent me, but I did watch it. Oh, it was Superman!
Oh, yeah, how'd you get on with that?
You said I should watch the new Superman. I fucking loved it.
Right? This is what I'm saying.
I fucking loved that film. It was.
Yeah.
I don't really like James Gunn stuff.
No.
I don't really like James Gunn films. In fact, there's some that I absolutely hate. But that Superman film was so full of. I'm like, oh, I get Superman now.
100%.
Like, because I've seen like the original Superman film with Christopher Reeves. I've saw Superman Returns with Brandon Routh. I thought those two were quite good. You know, I'm like, I kind of get what's going on here. And then I didn't understand what the fuck was happening with whoever was doing who was doing the Superman and Batman current shit. Not the current shit, the shit before the current shit with the DC Justice League and all that bollocks.
Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder, yeah. What the fuck was happening there? That was all trash.
Yeah.
But this, I was just like, oh, this is a really fun, excellent time. Like. Because you mentioned in that podcast that my favorite bit would be it's a bit with him and a squirrel.
Yes.
You were like, that's the bit you were like, and you were right. Him saving a squirrel.
That's the thing is it gets Superman. It's what you say. He's just good, and he's not good because anyone made him good or told him to be good. He's just a good man, and I think that's something that I love in characters. I think there's a naive simplicity to him that is aspirationally cool,
and it gets questioned in this film. Like, and he still comes out of it going, "No, I'm going to try and do the best I can do."
Yeah,
that's all we can do. It's great. It's a great film. Really recommend that.
Yeah, no, I genuinely loved it. Again, a great score as well. I'm liking all of the new DC stuff. Again, something I'm hoping survives the current moment in political nonsense.
Yeah.
Because Peacemaker I thought was very good.
The Batman film, again, tensest fucking thing in the world. Jesus Christ. I was like, jeez, I need a break.
The Batman, yeah, 100%.
I haven't really watched much of Marvel's recent. Oh, I watched Fantastic Four. That's really good. I completely like that. Fantastic Four is also really fucking good.
I think I built it up too much. I was disappointed by it, but I think it was large. I think I was really hyped for that film. I think I kind of hyped myself too much on it. That's my theory.
Ooh.
Found it a bit disappointing. But I'll tell you, you know what my next recommendation for you actually is?
Oh my God, what's it going to be?
It isn't homework, but you should do it. Have you read Avengers versus Aliens yet?
No.
The comic?
No.
Did you like, where do you like it? You like the Aliens franchise stuff, I assume.
I've seen one of them and it was too scary.
Oh, maybe you wouldn't like it. So Avengers versus Aliens is basically, I'll speak past you to the audience then. It's a comic that basically is somehow an excellent sci-fi comic, despite the obvious, like the premise is so silly of, I'm going to watch Captain America punch an alien.
Yeah.
But it's somehow this weirdly an incredible sequel to like the Prometheus Covenant stuff, but also an Avengers follow. It's weird. It shouldn't be as good as it is. I would say if you weren't into like Prometheus and Covenant and you're not like an alien completionist, maybe it's not as interesting, but it's surprisingly good. It's one of those things where you're like, they did not have to try as hard as they did on this. Because I read the Star Trek comics and those are just fan service, just daft, silly fun. Like they're fine. But no, the Avengers vs. Aliens ones, like genuinely, I'm like, that was surprisingly good.
The most recent thing that I've read is a stupid crossover comic.
Tell me.
It's DC.
Yeah. So
the Justice League crossing over with, would you like to guess?
I mean, they've crossed over with everyone at some point, but go on. Tell me which one you read.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
I didn't even know that existed.
It's stupid comic book bullshit. But then again, watching Shadow and Batman hang out and Sonic and the Flash, like they've got a really good counterpart in each of them.
That actually, it does come together, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's great. It's like Silver and the Green Lantern, because no one gives a fuck about either of those. They're great. They hang out together. Because I picked it up because I just saw it in a Forbidden Planet or something. I was like, I think this is going to be terrible.
Yes.
I think this is going to be a terrible, useless, stupid thing. But I'm going to buy it because, fuck it, why not? And then I saw that the main villain of the Justice League, Darkseid, I believe he's called, floats around in a big rock with his face on it called the Ragnarok. And I went, oh no, that's Sonic the Hedgehog level. Yeah, that's fine. This is going to be... This will be fine.
No, that's cool.
Oh, have you watched Wonder Man yet?
That was really good.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Fuck. People keep saying it's really good. I need to catch up with that.
Well, my suggestion with Wonder Man is watch it in one go.
Okay.
It's like 6 half-hour episodes, so it's basically a movie.
Okay, I can probably do that.
But it's really good. I do have a soft spot. I do like Hollywood making stories about Hollywood. Mm-hmm. I think because I've been adjacent to it a fair amount in my career, because I've done some game stuff for films and blah blah blah.
Oh, have you?
See, so there's a lot of don't think you're being mean to me. There's a lot of that kind of Hollywood bullshit that I do thoroughly enjoy them taking the piss out of, and that's like the studio, the franchise, and this are like all kind of about that. It's very much about being an actor in Hollywood, and the thing about Hollywood that you learn very quickly being there is most of the people you meet are trying to be actors, or at the start of their careers. Like whenever you're going, if you're going to a Starbucks, everyone working at that Starbucks is trying to make it in Hollywood, right? That's the energy. So hearing a story about those folks is good. There's some really good stuff in there about, obvious metaphors that are in play, about kind of hiding your true self in Hollywood. It's good. It's really good. And similarly, a standout black and white episode. So there you go.
Oh, interesting.
That's the cliche this year, I guess, in television.
Anyway, that's all. It's lovely chatting to you, Mike.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go and have the actual proper chat. Now all these plebs will leave.
Yeah, I think we put 7 pins in things, so we're going to have those private chats now. All right. Well, thanks, everyone.
Thanks for listening.
It's been a pleasure being back here. See you again in another 7 months.
See you in 7 months. Bye.
Bye.